should I play standing or sitting?
That's a good question. There you go. So, should you play standing or sitting? We touched on this earlier, but I will say that should is a strong word, right? But in a perfect world, you should do both. The reason is because if you only play sitting down, if you only play in one position, if you only play in one room, if you only play one guitar, etc., you're going to get so used to only doing that one thing that if anything is different, you're going to have a hard time. For example, if you go to a friend's house, even if you take your own guitar, if you're in a different environment, if you're in a different chair, if you're sitting on the couch, or if you need to stand up, or if you go to a friend's house or a party, or it doesn't matter, family's house, an event, etc. If they have another guitar that you want to play, if you go to a jam session or something, you might have to play somebody else's guitar. It's going to be different, and you have to get used to that. So, in terms of standing up versus sitting down, it's useful to play standing up because you actually just get used to moving your body around and playing the guitar in different positions. And when you do that, that helps you not only just get familiar with playing guitar in general, because at first, the first time you do anything, it's awkward. When you first stand up, it's awkward. But when you do it and you keep doing it, you're going to start getting those comfortable positions. Like, for example, where should I put my arm? On the this part of the guitar. Where should I rest my arm? If you're just now standing up for the very first time and you're playing in a room full of people, well, you're going to be thinking about where should I rest my arm because you've never done it before and it feels uncomfortable. And you're not going to be focusing on what you're playing. And then everybody might be like, is this guy any good? I don't know about this. So you want to try to avoid that. Point is, it's best to try to play in as many different environments, or just at least a few different environments, meaning in different rooms, and standing up with a strap, sitting down, because you just get used to all the different scenarios that you can be in when you play your guitar. You get used to all the different ways the guitar can feel on your body. And then also playing other people's guitars and playing different types of guitars also gets you more used to that as well, because there's different neck shapes, there's different neck widths, there's different string gauges, the body is different. It's just all different. So the point is, in my opinion, the more of those environments or situations you can expose yourself to, the better all around guitar player you're going to be, because you're going to be more and more comfortable in those different scenarios, so you can focus on playing the guitar and actually sounding good with it, rather than having all of your attention diverted by, where should my arm be? Do I look silly? Should I tuck my shirt in? You don't want to worry about any of that stuff. So yes, standing up is helpful when you play guitar, but you don't have to.
There's a little side story. Are you familiar with the bass player James Jamerson?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, there's a pretty entertaining story of Marvin Gaye wanting him to come in and play the song "What's Going On." This I don't know how if this is a rumor or if it's true. I read an interview on it once, but he wanted James Jamerson to play the bass line, but when they called James in, he was too intoxicated, so he actually laid on his back to play the bass part, and it's a
Wow.
famous bass part. So
There you go.
maybe you need to practice on your back. That's a
Yeah. If you come home too intoxicated, you just want to play guitar. There you go.
lay down. Come on, you're playing your bed laying down like that's yeah
Actually, yes, that's a great
yeah.
tip, by
Come
the way.
on.
If you want to be able to play without looking, play when you're laying in your bed when the room is dark. You can't see anything, and you have to
Mm.
learn to rely on your ear. That's what I used to do.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Awesome. Well, here's a quick question. I don't know if you can answer this one real quick, but this is from Robert Fagan in the chat. He says, "I'm taking Guitar Grid 101 and how to learn any song. Awesome courses. I've gone down some lesson rabbit holes. Which class would you suggest next?"
So, Robert, you said you're taking Guitar Grid 101 and How to Learn Any Song or Solo. I would suggest two things based on those two paths. So, Guitar Grid 101 is essentially, for those of you who don't know, teaches you about the grid that's on the neck, the invisible grid that's on the neck that teaches you how to hit all the right notes without having to think about it. So you can literally move across the neck, play in any key, and you don't have to think about the notes that you're playing. You can just start playing by feel. And that's what Robert is referring to. So if you're taking Guitar Grid 101 and you want to keep playing more lead guitar type stuff, which will actually lead to how the whole fretboard works, it will tell you the why behind how everything works. The next step from that would be a course called Guitar Grid Mastery. And like I said, that we talked about this earlier, but that actually gives you that 1 7 string pattern that repeats across the whole neck, that shows you how to play in any key without having to think about it. It is the same repeating pattern that's on the piano, just applied to the guitar, but nobody talks about it because it involves an invisible string. But once you do know it, it's literally just like, I've literally had guys laugh out loud in person in front of me when they see how easy it is, because it's literally just one pattern that repeats across the entire neck. You can play up and down the neck anywhere in any key, any mode, anything like that. So that's what I would do if you're more interested in following your curiosity about lead guitar. After Guitar Grid 101, go to Guitar Grid Mastery. Now, for how to learn any song or solo, that is, for those of you who don't know, that is a repeatable process that I actually discovered from a pro bass player who showed me how does him and his band, how do they go to a rehearsal without knowing any songs and then learn all the songs in like 15 minutes? How do they do that? And he showed me an actual repeatable process called the SHL method, which literally allows you to start playing along with any song or solo in just a few minutes when you get used to doing it. And you can continue to progress from there. You can play more and more difficult, songs and solos from that point. But that's the point of how to learn any song or solo. So after how to learn any song or solo, what I would actually do from there is go to a course called How to Know All the Right Chords. Now, what that does is it literally just shows you how do you know what chords sound good together depending on what the key is. And the cool thing is you don't have to think about what the chords are called. You don't have to think about what are the notes in the key of G, for example, versus the key of F sharp, for example, which gets really boring, gets really confusing, and it takes a lot of time to figure out, right? We don't want to have to think about any of that kind of stuff. We just want to be able to pick up the guitar and just play whatever we feel. So how to know all the right chords will teach you literally how to instantly know all the right chords depending on whatever key you're in. And I mentioned that other course before, Guitar Grid Mastery. If you take Guitar Grid Mastery and how to know all the right chords together, they work together, because what you learn in Guitar Grid Mastery shows you how do you know how to learn all the right chords. So it all works together. It's all a complete system. So anyway, Robert, thanks for asking the question. Just to recap for everybody who is watching, if you're taking Guitar Grid 101, I would go to Guitar Grid Mastery next. If you're taking How to Learn Any Song or Solo, I would go to How to Know All the Right Chords next. So hopefully that helps, Robert.
Yeah, awesome, man. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video. That was just a short clip of one of our longer Q&A videos. If you're interested in watching some more of those videos, then I recommend you hit the subscribe button over here. It's really awesome. Also, we got more videos over here, so check some out if you're interested in learning more about breakthrough guitar or advancing your guitar skills. Peace.